And what people don't understand, everybody can't be saved, man. Everyone cannot be saved. You got certain individuals in this world that they was born to be fucked up people. They was born to be in prison. They was born to die at a certain age. And it's a fucked up thing to say, but it's called reality, man. When you live in a reality where you realize that when a person take another human being's life that they can't get back, that person crossed the line, man. When you realize and stop trying to rationalize for the problem that's going on in the black community and just saying that it's something else than more than what it really is, everybody want to blame the visionary or the white man or somebody else in the world that's holding that in the community are dropping weapons off in the community to bring down the community. When in actuality, these young motherfuckers are going out here breaking in people's cars, breaking in people's homes, breaking in people's businesses, and they stealing these fucking firearms and taking them back to the black community and victimizing their own fucking people. It don't make no motherfucking sense when people want to holler out, this is my motherfucking neighborhood, but you're not willing to stop the young motherfuckers in your neighborhood, man. I remember back in the days when motherfuckers in a community, if you said you was in a neighborhood or a hood, could no motherfucker come over and rob no old lady. Could no motherfucker come in your neighborhood and break in no woman's house without a motherfucker from the streets taking care of that man. Motherfucker didn't have to call the police because motherfuckers police their own neighborhoods so them folk wouldn't come in there, man. But now you got these young motherfuckers and misguided so-called parents that's out in this world letting their 12 and 13-year-old children run around in the motherfucking world and victimize people, man. These young motherfuckers in Chicago and New York and California and Memphis and every motherfucking black majority cities are killing more black people than any other motherfucking hate group ever done in life, man. Ever done in life. So then it make you wonder, what did our great ancestors fight for if they fought for these rights for these young motherfuckers to take so many black people up off this planet, man? Black people always be in my motherfucking comment box talking about you because you're talking about us. If a motherfucking black man can't talk about black problems, then something ain't right, man. I'm a hood mother from the streets, grew up in the streets, grew up in the motherfucking projects. I struggled every motherfucking day. Did 15 and a half years in the penitentiary. I got the right to what the fuck I want to say if a motherfucker ain't doing what's real, man. If you out there in the motherfucking streets and you ain't being a motherfucking parent, then they need to lock your ass up with that nothing ass child of yours, man. If your child out there in the motherfucking streets robbing, carjacking, stealing from motherfuckers, they need to come knock on your motherfucking door and lock your nothing ass up too, man. There's too many people that sit back and holler out, well, I tried. If you know that you dealing with a nothing ass motherfucker, and I'm talking about the appropriation part, man. If you know that you sleeping with a motherfucker that's a robber, his whole family been to the penitentiary, he's a nothing ass motherfucker, the gene pool is poison. If every motherfucker in your family at 40, 50 years old still living in the motherfucking project, then your gene pool is poison, man. There's too many people that lay up around in these motherfucking government houses and holler out they living good when y'all motherfuckers ain't living good when you gotta go jump in the motherfucking tub at night when a motherfucker rather tap motherfucking hammer around y'all houses, man. Y'all motherfuckers ain't living good off y'all children right when y'all ain't trying to bring y'all children out of situations where them motherfuckers become gang members only because that's the only thing they know because about nothing ass motherfuckers every day of their life. If you call yourself a motherfucking parent or a person that love yourself, why the fuck would you stay in the projects, man? Motherfuckers understand that them folks, them rappers didn't come out with the word trap. The projects always been the trap. It was a trap that was set by individuals that don't go nowhere or do nothing but go lay up in the projects and let them motherfuckers get that check once a month and smoke them 3.5s and they happy with that life, man. You got too many motherfuckers. You got females that have multiple motherfucking kids just so she know that at the beginning of the year she can sell her motherfucking kids to folks to get income tax money. That's $1,500 per child, man. If you laying around in your motherfucking house and once a year is the biggest motherfucking chunk of money you get is the income tax money, you's a piece of shit, man. There's too many people that I see in this world, and it's all motherfucking races and colors now, man, because the world became a lazy motherfucking place, man. There's so many people that lay around and complain about their motherfucking life, but they doing shit to up their life. Not a motherfucking thing. They ain't doing a motherfucking thing to upgrade their life. Some of them motherfucking decrease by the day because them motherfuckers ain't been laying around in a motherfucking Section 8 project waiting on that check to hit on the first and the third, man. It's a lot of motherfucking out here that wish they would have kept their talent working to themselves because they knew that they nutted in all motherfuckers. And now them motherfuckers trapped with that motherfucker for 18 straight years, man. It's a lot of people in this world that don't take the chance when motherfuckers be having it on a billboard telling you that a motherfucker is a psychopath, man. It's a lot of motherfuckers that get caught up in what y'all love when they ain't even found love for themselves yet, man. It's a lot of motherfuckers in this world that don't understand that if you ain't bringing something to the table, you decreasing from the pot, man. I ain't gonna never let a motherfucker come in and enjoy my wealth or enjoy my knowledge without them bringing the same type of shit to the table, man. I became one of them individuals that pussy is just pussy and dick is just dick, man. If a motherfucker ain't bringing more than looks and motherfucking sex to the table, then that motherfucker gonna take something from the table, man. There's too many motherfuckers that out here in this world that rather go spend $4,000 on a Birkin bag than go put them $4,000-$5,000 on a house and get the project, man. I see more motherfucking females on live all motherfucking day, and I see them brick walls behind them motherfuckers. They all white, and I know them motherfuckers living in the project. There's too many motherfuckers that spend their time online when they should be spending their time on a job, man. There's a lot of motherfuckers out in this world that don't understand that the juvenile crime shit is just the beginning of this shit, man. Just the beginning of this shit. If you know that your child is out here right motherfucking now in the summertime with a hammer hanging out their pocket and that fuck ain't old enough to possess a firearm, then you's a piece of shit, man. If you go to the penitentiary and come out the penitentiary and try to encourage young motherfuckers to become gang members, then you's a piece of shit, man. I'm gonna tell a motherfucker this, you ain't gonna never find an active gang member that's a billionaire or a millionaire, and that motherfucker on his way to the federal penitentiary, man. It ain't now motherfucker out here that can tell a motherfucker they survived the streets completely, man. Ain't none of that shit, man. Because if you've been in these streets, you gonna suffer some kind of motherfucking loss if it wasn't the loss of a person, a loss of money, some loss of your time in the penitentiary. There's too many motherfucking consequences to a motherfucker trying to live a life. Some people ain't got no choice but to live, but a lot of other motherfuckers go to these communities because they want to be like that. I ain't never seen so many motherfuckers that want to live in poverty that ain't from poverty. I ain't never seen so many motherfuckers in my life that want to holiday from motherfucking neighborhood that in slum, knowing them motherfuckers ain't never been over until they got some money, man. As a motherfucker like me that grew up in the projects, grew up poor, one day lights might be on, one day the water might be off, Might have to go to the neighbor and run a extension cord just so a motherfucker can cook something to eat. I've been in them situations. And for a motherfucker to not ever been in them situations to get online and rap about that shit and talk about that shit and try to glorify that shit, man, that shit ain't real. That shit ain't that shit ain't real. I'm telling motherfuckers if you go to the don't go to visit, don't go to stay, knock them motherfuckers down and make a better way, man. Because a lot of motherfuckers get in them projects and they don't get trapped, they get lazy, man. They get lazy, man. A lot of them motherfucking them projects and them bitches get to figuring out, man, I ain't gotta pay them $30, $40 a month for motherfucking rent. Oh, them hoes think they can hit the club about 3 times a week and turn up and pop off them bottles, man. And there's so many motherfuckers in this world that be online talking about they living their best life and really they living their worst life. I tell a motherfucker thing. If you don't own a home, or even put down on a home, or even own the car completely and you over the age of 30, then you bullshitting, man. You motherfucking bullshitting in all kind of motherfucking way, man. There's more motherfuckers in this world that's out here glorifying the shit things I ever seen in my motherfucking life, man. These folks literally be out here glorifying gang members and killings like this shit ain't real, man. These motherfuckers be liking posts of young motherfuckers being out here shooting at folks and taking motherfuckers' lives. Like this shit a movie when this shit is real life, man. Motherfuckers in this world don't understand one thing for sure and two things for certain. You only get one shot at it, man. You only get one motherfucking shot at this shit, man. And if a motherfucker take your life, and I get so tired of motherfuckers all the way out now, well, God called him home. God called a motherfucker home early when you get caught slipping without that hammer in your pocket and a motherfucker sneak up on you and take your life. I'm gonna send 1,000,000 motherfuckers to see God before I go see God one motherfucking time. I tell a motherfucker quick, man, stay dangerous, and you gotta worry about them motherfuckers in the streets, man. Stay dangerous, and you ain't ever gotta worry about no motherfucker in this world as long as you stay dangerous, motherfucker. I tell a motherfucker quick, man, if a motherfucker walk up on you with that ski mask on, man, don't take no hesitation. Put that motherfucker in the dirt and make them folks bury that motherfucker tomorrow if they got to, man. I tell a motherfucker quick, I'd rather be judged 12 than carried by 6 any motherfucking day, man. I tell a motherfucker quick that, man, it's only 2 things in the world that a motherfucker should ever worry about, and that's their family and their health. You should never ever walk out your motherfucking front door and wonder if a motherfucker gonna take your car or take your motherfucking life. I'm the type of motherfucker that be at a gas station and I be looking around because I keep my eye on every motherfucking thing around me at all motherfucking times. But I'm the type of motherfucker when I see them young motherfuckers walking around or coming around, I don't sit there and look at them young motherfuckers and holler out, I hope they don't. I holler out, I hope they would. I hope they would walk over here towards me with this motherfucking gas pump in hand and this torch in my other hand because I'm going to spray them with this motherfucking gasoline and I'm going to hit them with that motherfucking Roman count at the same motherfucking time. I'm just going to tell you the motherfucking truth, man. Motherfuckers want to holler out that the best way to stop the crime in the community is to build more motherfucking and go out there and pass out backpacks and school clothes, man. Nah. You gotta fight violence with violence and let a motherfucker know that you ain't going nowhere. I remember back in the days when motherfuckers in neighborhoods used to make sure that them young motherfuckers didn't never get out of control, man. Never got out of control, and they made sure them young motherfuckers knew that there was OGs in the neighborhood to come and stop them from shooting up bang bang at any given motherfucking time, man. How the fuck you call yourself an OG? A motherfucker that run a motherfucking neighborhood and you can't stop them young motherfuckers from killing each other in your neighborhood, man. How you call yourself a motherfucking gang leader and this is your motherfucking territory, but you can't stop your own motherfucking homeboys from killing each other every fucking day? How the fuck you call yourself an elder or OG or a motherfucker that's a leader in any situation and you fuck can't stop these coward motherfuckers from shooting each other in the streets, man? How call yourself a leader, because when a motherfucker say they're a leader, that means they motherfuckers up under my followers and them motherfuckers listen to everything they gotta say now. Y'all motherfuckers ain't no motherfucking OGs or no motherfucking leaders. Y'all motherfuckers are just kids that's in a position one day the feds gonna come and knock on the door because you motherfuckers going to jail. I don't never want to hear a motherfucker say they know G, they run their motherfucking neighborhood and they can't stop young motherfuckers from robbing and other motherfuckers in their neighborhood. Man, come on now. You don't run your motherfucking neighborhood if you can't stop a motherfucker from doing shit to people in your neighborhood. You don't run your neighborhood, or you ain't the king of your motherfucking city if you can't go out there and tell them motherfuckers to stop. You ain't the king of your motherfucking city if you can't go out there and make them young motherfuckers stop. And motherfuckers always want to look at the police like the police bad guy when the police trying to save the citizens, man. They trying to save the citizens. Every motherfucker in the neighborhood ain't criminals and ain't got to watch out for the police, so why the fuck the police got to be the bad guy? All them motherfuckers that we're about saying the police the bad guy is the criminals. If you's a motherfucking criminal, the police got a job and you got a job, and that's not to get caught, man. It's as simple as it is, man. But a lot of these young motherfuckers think that they go out there and shoot them a bang bang with the police, but the police got a sing for these motherfuckers. There's a lot of motherfuckers in this world that sit out here and cry every time that the police put one of them young motherfuckers in the bag, not knowing them young motherfuckers were the one that started that shit. If you in a motherfucking stolen car, take the police on a high-speed chase, start popping at the motherfucking police, you motherfuckers need to start saying, what if I was out here doing my fucking job trying to protect other motherfuckers for pennies? For fucking peanuts, trying to protect my neighborhood, because most fucking police in black neighborhoods grew up in them neighborhoods, man. A lot of them motherfucking police that's walking around in them projects is the same motherfucker that grew up in them projects, because them folks put them folks in them projects because they hoping that you stupid motherfuckers can relate to that motherfucker and don't do crimes around that motherfucker, at least for the 8 to 12 hours that motherfucker walking around in the project. There's too many motherfuckers blaming other people for them not succeeding in the world when they putting their best foot forward. They're not putting their best foot forward. There's a lot of people in this world that I look back and I say, man, why y'all at me? There's a lot of people that get mad at me, but they say I don't do nothing but point the eye on the black problems and the black people problems, and I never stop at the black folks problem. But if you actually look at my platform is way beyond pointing the finger at any race or any color. I point out crime. I point out injustice. I point out when other news and other outlets are lying on situations. I point out the downfalls of black folks. I point out the downfalls of white folks. I show people that it's a better way in life, man. I do, man. You know, I show people that it's a whole nother way that you can get to a whole nother platform and get that bag without being a stupid motherfucker being out here robbing, stealing, and taking shit from folks. You know, I'm the type of person that can actually say that I've been blessed in life more than a lot of people ever think that I deserve to be blessed. And that's true. And a lot of people got the right to say that because, man, a lot of things that I've done in life, I'm not proud of, man. But I've never been the type of person, I've never been a robber. I've never been a thief. But I've been a drug dealer. I've been a hustler all my motherfucking life. And I used to say that I was forced to do it because I didn't have anyone to take care of me or my brother. But I still had other options because I had a lot of good people that came in and out of my life, black and white, teachers, mentors. I had people try to save me when I didn't even know I needed to be saved. And I never took that opportunity because I never thought I deserved that opportunity. And it took me to sit in prison for 15 and a half years straight with no family, no friends, but the people around me to realize that I fucked up. It made me realize that I fucked up. It made me sit back and take accountability for all the things that I did wrong in life and just hope that God bless me another chance to be free one day. And I ended up with a life sentence in prison and God blessed me. God set me free, man. He set me free and I've been free over damn near 18 straight years. And I told myself, man, if I'm ever gonna tell something, I talk about something on the internet, I tell stories, I'm gonna tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not gonna ever glorify me ever being a part of a gang because I have it. I'm not gonna glorify me going to prison like it was a trophy. I'm gonna show a motherfucker it was a wound. I missed so many years of my life and my children's life walking around in the penitentiary, thinking and dreaming about the things I wanted to do when I got out. And that shit was miserable. There's a lot of people in this world that don't get a chance to tell their stories that might change another individual's life. Everything in the world ain't gotta be about hooping and hollering and screaming. Sometimes you can be the calmest person and get your point across. Anytime that you get a chance in life to tell someone you don't want to go down that road, you don't want to be in that situation where you call home and the one that you think love you don't even accept your phone call. You don't want to be in the situation where the only time you get to call home and hear the ones you love voice is either on three-way or on a holiday. You don't want to be the one that's sitting behind walls when the only person in this world that you really truly love, your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, or someone that meant dear to you, is put in the ground and them folks won't even let you go to the funeral. You ain't even seen the pain that comes from when you know that you love someone and you never gonna see that person again walking and talking on this earth, but you made a fucked up decision and got yourself in the penitentiary. You know, I tell people every day, man, you gotta live the life that you're given, but you ain't gotta stand that life. And if you ever get a blessing to get away from that life, man, take your opportunity and run it. And if you don't associate yourself with people that want more out of life than the everyday bullshit that you see every day, then you need to distance yourself from the people. Over the years, I don't had a lot of people I don't have to distance myself from because I found that they wasn't real. It was a lot of people when I was making $3,000-4,000 a day and was able to give money away like it was paper. Them folks used to call my phone so much that I used to be like, damn, what the fuck they want? They ain't calling about no money. Them same motherfuckers, when a motherfucker stop playing in them streets, them same motherfuckers stop calling no more. They don't call you no more. The motherfucker that call you, the big homie, and call you and say, I love you, man, I'm gonna kill for you, they only say them things when you got money around you. I ain't gonna never ever want to be surrounded by people that's only for me, only around me what I got in my pocket. I learned in life that it's best to surround yourself with so-called people that's motivated to do more than you do. It ain't never bad to be around people that got more than you, I got less than you. Long as everybody that's around you is motivated to get more. You know what I mean? You can't justify it. When you see people sit around all day long and they ain't doing nothing, and at the end of the day they still ain't doing nothing, then what the fuck do you expect to come out of life but nothing? You know what I mean? I tell people every motherfucking day, man, love yourself before you try to love any other individual, man. Give to yourself before you ever in the world try to another motherfucker, man. And a lot of people get caught up in what they call investments, man. And when I say investments, I'm talking people invest their time, their money into individuals, hoping one day that motherfucker gonna stand beside them and that don't happen. A lot of people don't understand that when you dealing with some people, females and males, when you got money, you the best thing in the world, man. But when you ain't got money, you just like the next motherfucker in the world. Ain't worth nothing to that person. I've seen motherfuckers have females and treat them like queens and give them bags and bags and bags every day of their motherfucking life, and then that motherfucker get popped. That bitch won't even send them no money. That bitch won't even send a nigga a money, bought her 10 Birkin bags and took out the projects and had her driving Lexus and Benz and shit. So I tell a motherfucker, keep your money to yourself. If you grind for it, keep it to yourself, man. Don't nobody deserve to have money, man. Nobody. And if a motherfucker come in, and this is the biggest thing that I trip about most of these young females now, they think a motherfucker supposed to take care of them to show that you love them. Ain't no motherfucker put on this earth to take care of now individual, because every individual come in this world on their own. And they gonna leave on their own. Meaning that if you ain't able to take care of yourself, then you're a piece of shit. A real independent boss type bitch gonna tell a motherfucker that she don't need now motherfucker, man. She gonna tell a motherfucker she can go buy her own house. She gonna tell a motherfucker I can go buy my own Birkin bag, because she don't want to be with like the next nothing ass bitch one day when the nigga snatch all them glories and all this shit out and she back to the project riding around in a Hyundai, man. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand that one thing for sure and two things for certain, man. Build your bag for yourself and nobody else, man. I wish the fuck I would buy a motherfucker a Birkin bag. I wish the fuck I would give a motherfucker anything that they don't deserve. You know what I mean? I fucked up with showering a person with guilt. I tell the motherfucker I love them. But when you get to the point that if I just buy you flowers in the car, that ain't enough, then we got a problem, man. We got a problem. You know, and these motherfuckers out here on took the whole situation of tricking to a whole level, man. Tricking. Ain't nothing wrong with tricking if you got it, man. But you shouldn't be out here tricking the next nigga money if you know you everybody in your city, man. If you out here spending your money on some pussy, make sure it's your money and not the next nigga money that you owe somebody, man. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a situation where I be around motherfuckers that owe me thousands and they be talking about they take some slut to the hotel and make me want to hit them with that Roman counter. I'm just saying, man. Don't be out there tricking with other folks' money. But yeah, man. I understand. I tell you, you know, people in the world, let's say, man, look, people in the world don't understand a lot of things, man. We have a problem going on. And the biggest problem is these young motherfuckers, because they think they in control. They think that they so in control because the laws have not been revamped to deal with them young motherfuckers. But every second of every day, some lawmaker sitting in a room somewhere right now, and they redoing them laws, whereby next summer, you young motherfuckers is 10, 11, 12 years old, get caught carjacking somebody, y'all motherfuckers going to the penitentiary. And this is what y'all folks don't understand. They got juvenile prison that they house juvenile offenders that don't committed the adult crimes. And on their 18th birthday, them folks walk them in the real penitentiary and tell them hello. Hello? For real. I was one of them motherfuckers, man. I committed my murder when I was 16 years old, and them folks kept me in a motherfucking prison, holding cell, and on my 18th birthday, them folks said, good morning, happy birthday, put these handcuffs on, we gonna take you to the men penitentiary right now, you ain't over with the juveniles no more. Real shit. Shit, them folks ain't giving a fuck. Shit. Which they should have been done that shit to these young motherfuckers nowadays, because these young motherfuckers nowadays, they don't comprehend that shit don't stink right. They don't understand that shit don't stink. They don't understand that it's consequence to every motherfucking thing you do. Real dire consequences. You feel me? You got, a lot of people, you got to blame mama, you got to blame their daddy, you got to blame their guardians. You can't, everybody want to blame the court system. They want to blame somebody. Blame your motherfucking self if your child get put in a bag at 13, 14 years old because they run around in the streets. Blame your motherfucker if the police come knocking on your door and tell you somebody just blew your child away because they was out there breaking in somebody's car. Blame yourself. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers need to quit blaming other motherfuckers for y'all not doing y'all job as a parent. Period. There's a lot of motherfuckers that need to be sitting in a jail cell right beside their motherfucking child because they knew their child was out there doing the motherfucking. There's a lot of motherfuckers know that they child got more stolen shit in their motherfucking house and they ain't doing nothing but promoting that shit. There's motherfuckers right now, this 12, 13-year-old son walking in the house with a bandana hanging around their neck out their pocket with a motherfucking gun hanging out their pocket. No motherfuckers ain't saying, nigga, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. If my motherfucking child, and I grown children, but if my motherfucking child under the age of 18 pull up on me, walk in my house with their pants hanging, with a motherfucking weapon out their pocket, I'm gonna tell them, turn around. Turn around. You don't live here no more. The first time you commit a crime and think you gonna bring them police to my door, you can't live here no more. You know what I mean? You can't live here no more. Motherfuckers like my grandmama used to say, you can live here till the police come knocking at the door, then you don't live here no more. My grandmama used to say, when you get the police knocking at your door, you're grown, so you don't live here no more. You know what I mean? And a lot of motherfuckers don't understand that that's what motherfuckers need to tell their children. And then when them folk come and tell you that your child is down, you can say, that motherfucker don't live here no more. That motherfucker don't live here. And when them folk holler out, why they don't live here, they your child. Because my child thought they was grown enough to carry a motherfucking weapon and tell me what they wasn't gonna do and what they was gonna do. Instead of me putting that motherfucker in the back, I told that motherfucker get up off my property. I told that motherfucker get up off my property and don't come back. You know what I mean? Because I truly believe in that shit with my mama and daddy and what my grandmama told me. That if you raise your hand at me, it'll be the last time you raise your hand at me, because I'm gonna put your ass in a bag. Because I brought you in this world and I'm gonna take your motherfucking ass up out of it before I let you take me up out of it. Period. Period. You know what I mean? I tell a motherfucker quick, man. Look into a motherfucker's eyes and you can tell when they ain't lying. When you look into a motherfucker's eyes, you can tell that that motherfucker ain't lying or ain't telling no motherfucking bullshit. A motherfucker can look into a nigga eyes and tell that motherfucker he ain't gonna play with you. He ain't gonna play no reindeer games. And I don't been into it with my son. My son was about 15 years old, came home, he got a little hair on his nuts, he got a little piece of pussy. That motherfucker gonna tell me what he ain't do, what he is gonna do. And get what I told that motherfucker? You ain't gonna live here no more. You ain't gonna go take no bath here no more. You ain't gonna do that no more. And you got to go. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers be like, you gonna put your child on the street? Look, man, if my child think that they gonna come into my house where I pay all the bills and do what I say, they gotta go. And if they think they ain't gotta go, they gonna go in a bag, man. And if my child, your child, or anybody else's child come at me in any threat, I'm gonna make sure them folks zip them folks up in a bag, man. I'm gonna make sure them folks zip them up in a bag, and if anybody got anything to say about it, man, I'm gonna zip the bag right behind them. I ain't gonna play no game with these folks out in the world, man. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't play no games. Don't hold back. You know what I mean? You can't hold back. Let's see how long I've been on this motherfucker, man. I try to give y'all an hour. Y'all ain't got your hour in yet. Oh, you're my own son. What you mean that ain't right? If your child, see, people get the concept all wrong. It's one thing about being a parent. You don't keep your child in your household if your child want to be a child no more. If my child come at me in a threatening manner with a knife or a gun and act like they gonna threaten me, I'm gonna put them in a bag. I'm gonna cry because that's my child. But I'm not gonna let my child or nobody else's child take me from my other children. Other children. Because I know I'm a valuable individual, and I mean that I take care of multiple people in life, and a lot of people depend on me waking up and going to sleep every night. So I'm not gonna let now individual take me away from my responsibilities, man. Not even my children. So if you want to be the one that sit there and let your child shoot you in the face, then you go ahead and do that, man. I ain't, man, my mom and daddy told me don't never shoot a fucker in the leg, you shoot a motherfucker in the face. And if a motherfucker pull out a gun on you, that motherfucker was trying to do something to you, man. Do you not realize that when a person pull a gun on you, I don't give a fuck if your child, another individual, that person got your life in their hands at that moment, man. Now, if that motherfucker don't pull the trigger, you supposed to go pull the trigger on that motherfucker next round. That's what I'm saying. I ain't talking about just disciplining your children with violence. I'm not talking about that. But if your child come at you like they're a grown ass man and want to put their hands on you or try to threaten you with a weapon, then that motherfucker to go. That motherfucker got to go. ASAP. Dial 911 because that motherfucker got somewhere to go. And ain't no motherfucker just say, people, what I mean? I each your own, man. You know what I mean? If you want to tell God, meet God earlier than you want to, then shit, do what you do. I ain't trying to meet God till God call me home, not because some nothing ass motherfucker, my child, your child, or somebody else, put me in a motherfucking bag because they was either jealous of me or tried to rob me or take something from me. Because I don't go out there in the world and take nothing from nobody, hurt no motherfucker, but if a motherfucker try to hurt me or take something from me or somebody else, I'm going to kill the world. The world. Every motherfucker that's near that motherfucker. Any motherfucker that motherfucker loves, I'm going to touch him. You know what I mean? And that's if somebody do something to me, I'm lying. I ain't talking about going out there just creating chaos and stupid ass shit and violence in the street. I'm not doing that. Have I ever moved out of the life you had? Man, I graduated out the life that I was born in years ago. Years ago. When I came out the penitentiary, I knew my life was different. I knew that my world was going to be different. I knew my money was going to be different. I knew that my environment was going to be different. You know what I mean? Just because you come from the poverty, come from the project, don't mean you're supposed to go live in the project. You know, I ain't lived in the project since I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? I'm going to stay in the project, I'm going to park in the project. That shit don't entertain me, man. Been there, done that, lived there when I ain't had no choice. Why the fuck I'm going to go there when I got a choice? Ain't no motherfucking money in the project. Ain't no death and misery in the project. That's all. If you see anything in the project, that motherfucker ain't nothing but death and misery in the making. In the making. You know what I mean? Motherfucker talking about, we living our best, we over in the trap. We turning up all day long. That ain't living. That ain't living. Y'all just y'all postponing what's gonna happen in the future is most of you motherfuckers gonna die or go to prison. Most of you motherfuckers gonna die or go to prison. And then the craziest thing that I see nowadays, and I like to talk about this. The craziest thing that I see nowadays is you have so many people out here ODing on these so-called fake pills and fentanyl and killer fentanyl and shit like that. And I got a question to the young motherfuckers out here. Where y'all go buy that shit if you know it's gonna kill you? People need to stop just blaming the drug dealers. They need to start blaming the food that know what they're taking. And there's a lot of people in this world that all out what they thought they was getting this, they didn't tell their mom and daddy the truth. Them folk didn't tell their mom and daddy they wasn't going to get a perk. Them folk knew that pill was fake. Just like Kodak Black said, he knew that motherfucker was fake, but he a gremlin, and he still popped that motherfucker. And I ran across a lot of young motherfuckers, black, white, Asian, Chinese, that'll pop one of them fake motherfuckers like it ain't nothing, and they know that motherfucker got an 80% chance of knocking their dumb ass out, man. So when I hear them folks on the news crying, talking about blaming somebody, you need to blame your motherfucking child, man. You need to blame your mama, your daughter, and whoever popped that motherfucking pill that didn't go to a doctor and get that motherfucker. If you don't get a prescription from a pharmacy and get that motherfucker from Kroger or Walgreens, then you know that motherfucker fake, man. If you don't pull up to a doctor's office and get a motherfucking prescription for whatever you snorting in your nose, putting in your body, then you know it got a chance of killing you, man. So don't be screaming, go get the dope man, when you motherfuckers already knew what you was taking. You know what I mean? That's what I gotta say. And I seen where they had a massive overdose in what was it at Baltimore? They had a massive overdose in Baltimore yesterday. It was 22 people that OD'd. I ain't never understood how something that's been around for 50, 60 years, because fentanyl didn't just pop out of nowhere, man. That shit been man-made and been around a million years because it was meant to treat people with chronic pain. They got patches that you can go to the doctor's office and the doctor's office prescribe to individuals in pain to get counseling. But it took somebody, some man, that said, oh, we can chop that shit up and make more money off it. And they said, well, look, we can't hide and say it ain't this and it ain't that. So them folks told the world, this is what it is. And them folks still snort it. Them folks said, this is what it does. And them folks still buy it. Them folks tell y'all motherfuckers that everything out here in these streets got that shit in them and can kill you, but you motherfuckers still snort it. You motherfuckers still buy it. You motherfuckers still fall out in parking lots. Y'all motherfuckers still fall asleep in red lights. And that shit is cool with you. Tell you, man. That's why I tell people, man, if you don't watch news or do research on shit, man, you'll think some shit just popped out the sky yesterday when that shit really in actuality been here for shit 40, 50 years. People just didn't try to use it. You know what I mean? The generation I grew up, we wasn't trying to die. We might pop a real perk. You know what I mean? It wasn't never thought that what you was popping didn't come from a doctor's office. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you know anything that you get out the street, it didn't come from. It didn't. And it might kill you. You know what I mean? And I remember when, because every generation experiments with different things. I think, my mama and daddy generation was like the heroin epidemic. You know what I mean? Folk tried that H. And then when my generation came around, we was more like lace blunts with the cocaine, snow coke pills or some shit like that, drink. But then the next generation that came around, man, them motherfuckers was like, they wanted to die. Them young boys came around with Molly and Barley and fentanyl and fake pills and fake pops and uh, shit lean in cups and drinking this and drinking that. I'm like, some motherfucker wanna die, man. These young motherfuckers here wanna die. I'm talking about these folks give a motherfucker a bottle of codeine at a doctor's office because you sick and tell you to drink a teaspoon of that motherfucker once a day for the next 5 days. And these young motherfuckers go out there and pour the whole bottle in a thing of Sprite and drink that motherfucker in an hour, man. That's insane. That's insane, man. That's insane. And they call it addictive personalities, man. A lot of people don't understand that, man. If you ever have a parent that was a drug addict in any kind of way or alcoholic, you don't want to tip them motherfucking tables and find out what's really in your gene pool, man. You don't want to tip them motherfucking tables and drink too much and find out that you was destined to be a drug, that somebody in your family was a drug addict. You know what I mean? That's the truth. That's real shit. A lot of people don't know that, you know, when they got them that started, you know, snorting that powder, they thought it was fun and they were like, ooh, this shit tastes good. That's because it was already in your DNA because your mom and daddy was pumping and humping and your daddy already shot a lace coke up in your baby. You know what I mean? I know some motherfucking females that don't took drug tests that don't get high, but they get nutted in by some nigga and they find out that nigga crack. For real. I had my homegirl call me one day telling me, man, I just failed a piss test for coke and opiates, and you know I don't do none of that shit. I looked at her and I told her, I said, look, your nigga, what your nigga do? She said, man, what you mean? He ain't got nothing to do. I said, if your man is coming in you, he putting his DNA in you in more than one way, man. He putting all the toxins in his body inside you. That's why you failed that drug test, you fool. You know what I mean? See, people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't know how easy it is to transfer. Motherfucker be telling me, I ain't got high, I ain't did this. You don't, the motherfucker you fucking for the field job off because they sneaking and geeking. All because they sneaking and geeking ain't told you that they getting out. You know what I mean? That's what, you know what I mean? I tell you, man, I don't know whatever you do in life, man. If you are grown adult, you want to go out there and pop fake pills or get out, whatever you want to get out on, do you, man? Don't do that shit around me because motherfuckers pass out and die around the motherfucker, then they get motherfucker life sentence because some motherfucker sit around you and broke a pill down. You know what I mean? Don't pop no fake shit or do nothing around me. That's why I don't come around people. I ain't, motherfucker, I pull up on some young motherfuckers, they drinking out of a, I'm telling the motherfuckers where to exit at because I don't want to be around none of this shit. I don't want to be around now one of them young motherfuckers when they pass out. Cause they gon' pass out. You know what I mean? You can't put all that motherfucking what's the name in your body and you not pass out. What the fuck I do with that? Yeah. That's what people don't understand. Your body can only take so much. Your body can only take so much, man. You can abuse your body over and over by putting drugs and toxins in that motherfucker. And eventually them kidneys and all the other shit that run your body gonna shut the fuck down. It's gonna shut down. That's so like this. Do people, that's what people don't understand. They don't understand it. If you don't, your toxins gonna shut down. But it was